Hey there everybody, how's it hanging? I hope you're well. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 lines. Now, if you are a traditional 6-string guitar player, you'll know that with tablature, our 6 parallel lines going across are essentially representing the guitar strings, and we tend to have numbers written on them for which fret we want to play on which string. Now the stave or staff, depending on what you want to call it, one's a bit of an Americanized way and one's a bit of a UK-arized way. Either way, it's exactly the same thing. Anyway, so I'm going to teach you a little bit about the stave today. Now first of all, it can be a bit daunting if you're used to 6 lines and suddenly it's gone down to 5. It's as if someone's just taken one away and you're never going to see it again. Boo-hoo. It doesn't quite work like this. Now every other instrument doesn't have tab, okay? It's a guitar thing only, and by learning to read music, the standard notation, the little black dots, and fret. Kind of, I've got these little magnets on my little board here. Hey, there you go. Not just a hairy face. So, now, something that's very important is what we call a clef. Okay, now at the moment, there is no clef drawn on here. I'm going to draw one on, and this is the clef that you will typically learn to read from, or learn to use being a guitar player. And this is called a treble clef. Okay, now it's sometimes known as a G clef. Don't worry too much about that, that's another thing. Treble clef, this is what you will always read from if you are a guitar player. Not a bass player, a guitar player. Now, first things first, the names of the notes. Now, don't worry, stay calm, sit still, everything's going to be alright, probably. Okay, now, the spaces. Here we go. This is all you need to know to start with. As you can see, if you have a note written between the first and second lines, so within the first space, it's the note F. Between the second and third lines, the second space is the note A. Between the next 2 lines and in the third space is C, and in the final space right up top is E. And you'll notice that this spells the word face. Face, spaces, thankfully they rhyme. Well, if you call it face and space, they do. We'll call it face and space. That is how you remember the spaces. Now, okay, now we come on to the lines. So, when we're talking about the lines, the idea here is to have the line run right through the middle of the note. Now, we'll get onto notes in a video very soon, okay? This is just to make sure that you understand the basic idea between which note goes where on the stave or staff and how to work out what it's called. So, here's the little rhyme riddle, selection of words put together that I use to remember this. So, this is for the lines. If there is a line going through the very first note, it's an E at the bottom. Just down here. And then also the next one, if the second line is going through the note, it's a G. If the third line is going through the note, it's a B. If it's the fourth line, it's a D. And if it's the fifth and the very top line, it's an F. Every good boy deserves football. Now, by all means, come up with your own ways of remembering these. Remember however you want for the lines, and remember however you want for the spaces. It doesn't matter, really, how you remember them, as long as you do remember them. Okay, I'll show you some more exercises for working out notes above and below the stave very soon. But to begin with, this is just an introduction to the stave, the 5 sort of lines, aren't they? The 5 parallel lines. That is all the stave is. It is a way of indicating the pitch of a note. Now, in terms of clefs, we're going to stick with treble clef. There are other clefs. You generally aren't going to need them if you're going to be playing the guitar. Just treble clef will do the whole lot. We will go into some other ones if people are interested. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Part 4 coming very soon. I've got a few ideas what we're going to look at, and I will see you again. And remember, don't practice too much. You'll only get better. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
What do you mean more dynamics? It won't go any louder.